shit, man, I ain't that good. I ain't gonna make it.
I was the mayor of my city.
I think I invented the metal kick drum sound. That's the most I've ever seen my father play drums.
Did that equate to record sales?
No.
Why'd you guys break up?
Here's what we did. We had our crew members, and we always got the girls to hook up and like get our crew members to like hook up with the girls. And like we had this thing where we like to get like blow pops, and the girls would, hey, what can you do with this blow pop? And when we were on the Kiss tour, we got on our rider, we got everything we wanted. So we always had like 2 packs of Polaroid film and a camera. So we would always take pictures, and all these girls would come backstage and we'd take Polaroid pictures and stuff. And because you heard all the Kiss stories, you know, so we're on tour with Kiss. We got to do something that's rock and roll. We're not just, you know, boring old married guys. It's like a rock band or an insurance salesman, you know. And so we took all these pictures. We had a guitar tech, tour manager, and our front of house guy also did drums. So it was just a 3-man crew. And every night when we'd get ready to play, we'd hear the crowd just going nuts. We're like, what the hell's going on? Well, one night I was at the side of the stage and I looked up and I heard the cheering, and I look up and I see our guitar tech throwing the Polaroids out into the crowd. So he would have the girls put their phone numbers on it, and then the next town he would throw them out into the crowd. So he'd be throwing 5 or 6 Polaroids out, and everybody's like going crazy of girls from the town before we were playing, taking not nude pictures, but sexy pictures. Yeah.
I was going to say, what the hell did you do with all the Polaroids?
Yeah, they all.
You got rid of the evidence and the next stuff.
Yeah, he threw them all out into the crowds, and it was like, I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, oh man, I've been doing this all the time. I'm like, I thought people were excited we were going to be coming on stage.
When I played music, I never really listened to other music that was successful. Like, I couldn't tell you, I can't play cover songs. I couldn't even, I mean, I could if I sit down and learn it, but I had no interest in learning Poison or Motley Crue. Or early on, when I learned how to develop technique on bass, was Steve Harris and Michael Anthony. That's where my technique that I developed for my own style came from. And then once I started playing music, I didn't want to listen to other music because it would influence me as a writer. And so I never listened to music. I never did unless it was local. That sparked my interest because I don't know if it was like the competitive nature, see, okay, what we're up against, what's going on in the scene. But I genuinely loved all the bands. I was friends with most of the bands, or at least a couple of guys in the bands, and it was interesting to me. I found it created this electric feeling of community that was special.
You know, I'm the same way. I never played cover tunes. The only cover tunes that we played were from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right.
We did Sweet Transvestite,
Yeah.
Time Warp.
Yeah.
And those are the only covers that I've ever learned.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't even learn them. I just made up my own shit to it, right?
And Sacrifice Isaac, or maybe late on in Foxy when we did the acoustic shit, I think we did some covers just to fill up space because a lot of our songs wouldn't work acoustically. So we did some Jane's Addiction, I think, is Sacrifice Isaac. We did one of our big successful things with Foxy was a cover, and it was Fame. Remember, we'd play that at the end of the show. We didn't do that all the time, but we'd occasionally throw Fame in there. But they were old classics. But as far as just learning cover songs, I couldn't. People ask me, hey, sit down and play this song. I'm like, fuck, I don't know that song. Yeah. Why do you mean you don't know that song? I'm like, I never learned how to play covers.
there was no other covers we could have done because the Rocky Horror shit.
It fit. It fit.
Much,
Yeah,
right?
completely
Especially
fit your band.
Max, right?
It totally.
So outside of actually we did 3 because Get Out My Car You Drive Like Shit was not our song. That was another local band.
Really?
The Vandellas or something.
Huh? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought that was you guys.
No. It's on it was Shawn Ford's.
Oh yeah, Shawn.
That the other day, or not the other day, a couple weeks ago, back on the site, and I was like, oh yeah, someone knows their shit because nobody knows that really. And
I had no
I was
idea.
like, oh yeah, no, that was something Max brought to us, and we're like, fuck yeah. And I haven't done a video for it, but I just threw it up there so you could hear our version of it. But it's hilarious to hear it because it's talked through just like Max does,
Yeah.
But the songs are very different.
I would have never guessed that wasn't yours.
Yeah.
Never.
It was just one of those things that fit.
Yeah.
It was like the Rocky Horror thing, it
Yeah.
fit.
Well, I mean, just because Rocky was so popular, but
Yeah.
again, the same thing with Fame. Even though it was a cover, we played it our own style. It would sound nothing like Bowie, obviously, coming from Foxy.
And then it was that summer that I got my audition with Banshee, and my friend Kendall ended up not quitting college, and I got the audition with Banshee and got the gig, and there we went. And a year later we were in demo tag with Atlantic Records, and needless to say, I never went back and got my degree, but I went 2 years. So yeah.
Well, you know what? And this is outside. I think success is something that isn't necessarily measured in money.
Oh, absolutely.
And the fact that what we did on stage, not everybody can do.
No, it's very true. Yeah.
I think that as musicians, a lot of us are introverts early on.
Mm-hmm. I still am.
But on stage, it's different.
No, yeah.
And
true.
there's something about that experience that changes us. And for someone like me that was not very outgoing and could just go up and talk to anybody, early on, that confidence of being on stage really changed for the better.
No, yeah.
And
Yeah, I concur.
yeah, definitely.
Me too.
That experience.
Yeah, I was always the shy kid in school, and yeah. So yeah, being in a band and being able to perform definitely gave me a sense of confidence. And yeah, just finally, becoming good at something, in your life. And for me, that was playing drums. It's like, yeah, it was a big ego boost and confidence boost that I severely lacked, when I was younger, for sure.
But I look back at those days, and none of us made it huge, famous, rich, and all that stuff. But I think we were all successful.
Mm-hmm.
Being in a band, creating music, getting on stage and playing that, having people like it,
Yeah.
and come see you over and over and sing it back to you. What kind of that's success?
Yeah.
Because isn't that what we wanted?
Yeah.
That was more. I didn't get into it for money.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I didn't either.
Also, back in the 70s, we are also exposed to TV with the variety shows.
Correct.
To where you had everything across the board on one show.
Oh yeah.
You had
Right.
Kiss and Alice Cooper, and then some Carol Burnett, tie-in type things, and
Absolutely.
and that shit was fun. But it was very influential, and it's been interesting doing this. How influential those shows were with that variety.
Yeah, I mean, back then we didn't have Facebook or stuff like that. So, and I think that's honestly taken away from some of the magic of music today, because now you can jump online and see what Tommy Lee had a burrito at such and such place in, LA. But like back when we were young, man, you didn't see these people unless they were on one of those shows, right? And like, so I was a young kid, but I begged my mom so I could stay up till midnight to see Kiss on Fridays or whatever that show was called. And it was always just this really big event, when you wanted to see your band. And I think that magic's gone because of all the accessibility today, which is one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of social media. As I've told my wife, I'll never stop playing, and I play for me, and that was actually the most liberating thing to me now, though, is the when I really came to that realization that it doesn't matter if you're on a tour bus, it doesn't matter if you're selling millions of records. What matters, are you happy? Do you like doing it? Do you enjoy it? And that's, to me, the biggest thing. I still write music to this day with no expectations of making millions of dollars. I write music actually because I'm missing what I want to hear on the radio today, the kind of music I like. So I write the music that I want to hear.
So I want to add something else here. If you could now go back and talk to, Shawn Devons, what would you say?
Wow. If I could go back now and talk to Shawn Devons, my 16 to 25-year-old persona that I was, and what would I say? Fuck. I would say, man, enjoy more. Take it all in, because this doesn't last forever. It's shorter than you think. Back in those days when you're that age, you think you're invincible. You think that everything's going to be forever, whatever that thing is. You think it's just going to last and last and last. And it's only the older that you get that you realize that time is not infinite. It's finite, right? And it's fucking quicker than you think. And you have kids and you realize just how quick that goes because you visibly see it. And slowly as they go up, you look at pictures, you're like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, how fast they grow. But that's just how fast time is, really. So that window of time for the mid-'80s to really the mid-'90s of that decade of Westport being, on fire as it was, I would be going back and going, you know what, go down and enjoy every minute of this that you can. Play here as much as you can, because that's one thing that we did not do is play a whole heck of a lot in Westport. We played Lone Star, quite a few times and what have you, but we spent a lot of time playing shows outside of Westport where we had more control, able to do bigger shows, a mixed crowd, all these different things. We played other bars, we played no-name bars, we played bars that were way out of our comfort zone, all these different things, right? And I wish I could go back and be more of that promoter of ourselves, because I didn't promote our show, or I didn't book our shows. That was more Brad Hamilton's forte. PJ and I would be the marketers for sure, the ones representing the debauchery of what Downtown Clown was, right? But I would go back and say, be more proactive with booking with Brad, and focus on Westport and spend more time there, and because you're not going to realize just how much you miss it and how cool of a place that was, and amongst other things, other stuff. Don't be such an asshole. Don't be such a dick. Treat women with better respect than you are. All these things, right?